What is going on, everybody? I'm opening a merch store. So I am going to be creating old school RuneScape merch in a variety of different things. I already do this for another small business that I open, but since Jagex actually relaxed their copyright laws or copyright restrictions on what you can and can't do with graphics from the game or screenshots or anything like that. So if you didn't know about that, you can now make certain things in limited runs of about 100 items. You can't go over 100, otherwise I guess they're going to come after you for their share or something like that. But I've wanted to do this for a long time, but I've always been held back because I couldn't use any of the graphics for old school RuneScape. But now, since I am a creator and I already do this for another small business that I own, I have all the experience and a pretty good idea of where I want to take this. I'm going to be opening an Etsy shop very soon. My target date for this is November 1st. Obviously of this year. So within a month, I'd like to have this shop open. As of right now, I'm working on shipping to the United States, Canada, and England. As far as the rest of the world, hopefully I can open up to that depending on how Etsy shipping works to other countries. I've never really looked into it because my current small business, I do not ship outside of the United States. So I'm going to be looking into that for everybody else around the world. Basically, for this video, I want to intro you guys into some of the stuff that I'm going to be creating and listing on this Etsy shop, which I think some of you are really going to enjoy and you might want to grab. Now, all of these have to be produced in limited runs of 100 or less. It can't sell any over that. So once I make something and it's going to be listed at a quantity of 100, once it's gone, it is gone. I'll have to have other things that I list in place of that, based on whatever I have as for ideas at the time. So I want to show you guys a few of the things that you're going to see in this shop that you can buy, such as coffee mugs, koozies, mouse pads, stuff like that. I think it's going to be really cool, and I definitely want to hear from you guys on other things that you might want to see in the shop. If you do end up suggesting something to add to this shop, I will give you a 50% discount if your item is chosen and I do start making it. So let's get into this. I'm going to show you guys what I do and how I make this stuff, and you guys are going to get the cool sneak peek to a few of the items that you're going to see in the shop.
All right, so the first thing I chose to make for this RuneScape related Etsy shop is going to be a t-shirt. Now, I saw this actually in a meme a very long time ago, but the meme wasn't credited, so I actually don't know who to give credit to for this idea. This one is not really originally my idea, but I wanted to put it on a shirt because it's actually hilarious. So I started designing, and I used all of my Adobe applications for this, so specifically Illustrator and Photoshop for this one. So the first thing I did is I went online, and I could have drawn a glass with like water in it myself, but there's tons of free clip art out there and tons of different things that you can use for anything without any licensing restrictions. So I just went ahead and found one online. So basically, I'm using Illustrator to design this, and all I wanted to do here was give myself 3 glasses here, and we're gonna call it the Optimist, the Pessimist, and the RuneScapeist. And basically you can see the design coming to life here. So the design is basically, you know, Optimist, the glass is half full, Pessimist, the glass is half empty, and RuneScapeist, the glass is level 92. And I thought that was absolutely great to put on a t-shirt. So now you can see the design here, and once the design is completed, it's going to go right on a shirt using Caesar heat transfer vinyl. This stuff is really good. I have shirts that I have made for this for my other business, and I've had them for over a year. I wear them all the time. I wash them constantly, and this stuff actually holds up so great. I love this stuff. So this is the first thing you guys are going to see. We'll go through later on how I actually put it on the shirt. So basically what you're seeing here on the video is I'm weeding this out. So they call it weeding because you're like weeding all the little pieces out that are obviously are not going to go on the shirt. So you got to get rid of all that excess vinyl. And then pretty much this is what you're left with, and this is what goes on the shirt. So fortunately, the t-shirt doesn't have any RuneScape graphics on it, so this t-shirt actually won't be a limited run. I can sell as many of these as I want. The next thing that I wanted to get into was koozies. I make a lot of koozies for my other business, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, wow, you know, I really would like to have a RuneScape koozie. So I decided, since I'm maxed, I might as well just take the maxed level HUD, or whatever you want to call it, and throw that on a koozie. So I like to drink a decent amount of beer. I mean, who doesn't? So now I have a nice koozie that I can wrap my beer in that is RuneScape related. So this one I got to designing, and I just wanted to take, I wanted it to not be like completely white. So I found a background that Jagex had used, and went ahead and threw that as the koozie background, and then gave the level screen a little glow on the outside of it just to make it stand out a little bit, and then threw the levels on top of that background for the koozie. So it ended up turning out pretty good. Next thing I wanted to get into was a coffee mug. Coffee mug, everybody likes coffee. I drink coffee every morning at work. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll get myself a coffee mug, take that to work with me, have that sitting on my desk. People will ask me what it is. I can tell them what it is. They won't understand, and thus is the life of a RuneScape player. So the coffee design was basically the same thing, max levels, and I do plan on doing these for other account builds as well, depending on the type of player. So you'll probably see in there a maxed skilling level heads up display there. And I'll probably do some form of a Zerker one, because Zerker's a classic build, so might as well do one of those as well. And then the last thing that I wanted to do was actually a mouse pad. I mean, we're gamers, we play video games, mouse pads are pretty cool, so I figured why not make my own mouse pad as well. And this one is really not applicable to me because I don't have an Infernal Cape, but I thought it would still be cool. I buy the blank mouse pads and then take the time to design the mouse pad exactly as I would like it. So I went ahead and used the Inferno logo on this one with an Inferno Cape and put Zuck on there. The background of the mouse pad I created in Photoshop using a difference clouds effect, and it kind of makes it stand out kind of like lightning. You put a few effects over it, and then it becomes like this cool sort of lava looking thing. So I thought it fit really well with the Inferno theme. But yeah, so these are just a few of the things that I will be featuring in the Etsy shop, and they're all created and designed by me. Obviously not the graphics from RuneScape, but everything else designed by me, made on my machinery, right in my own home. So how do I get it on my substrates? Well, we have, me and my wife being we have a sublimation printer, or rather, it's a regular inkjet Epson printer that we've converted into a sublimation printer, which prints out these designs with a special ink on a special paper, and then using heat and pressure, it bonds it to a substrate, which would be polyester. There has to be a certain amount of polyester and something that you are sublimating to actually make it work. Otherwise, if you washed it or got it wet, it would just fall right out. Luckily, most of the stuff that I make and do, it is all going to be 65% polyester or more, and you need a minimum of 50%. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm getting the designs ready to put on the koozie, the mug, and the mouse pad. So I'm cutting these out, and then after that, I've got my heat presses heating up over off to the side off camera here. So then the next thing I have to do is actually attach these images to what I'm going to be sublimating. So right now I'm working with the koozie and the mug. I've got a lint roller, get all of the lint off so we have a nice clean surface to get this onto. And then I'll go ahead and attach these. I'm going to do the koozie and then the mug, and then we'll get into the t-shirt and the mouse pad. So the first thing for the t-shirt is I got to lay it out on my mat, and then after it's laid out on the mat, I'll take it over to my heat press, and I'm going to press it for a few seconds to get all of the moisture that is absorbed from the air, get it out of that t-shirt, and then I'll take it back over to my little table there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place the design on here. I have this little measuring tool that I actually made. You can buy these, but I decided to make one, save the money, and just make one myself. So then I get the design all lined up, and once it is centered there, the transfer paper for this heat transfer vinyl is sticky, so it stays on there. Take it back over to the heat press, and this one in particular, I am pressing at 320 degrees for 20 seconds. So after that, it adheres this stuff to the shirt, and off you go. Now you have a nice t-shirt. So the next thing you see me doing here is taking the mug that I put the level screen on, and we're just going to throw it in the mug press. This takes a little bit longer because the coffee mug is ceramic, so it has to heat up and all that. So I'll put this in here and then move on to the koozie. The koozie, we're just going to throw in the heat press. I got the design attached to it, clamp it down, and just let it run 390 degrees at 40 seconds. And after that 40 seconds is up, we are left with an awesome transferred image onto this koozie. So obviously the koozie wouldn't look really that great if we didn't do both sides. So I went ahead and did the other side, and now we have a double-sided koozie with the level screen on it. 2277, nice maxed koozie. Man, that koozie did a lot of work. So then the last thing I worked on is the mouse pad, and this is the exact same process for me as the koozie. It's the same material, just on a mouse pad. It's got a rubber backing so it doesn't slide around and all that. Throw it in there, heat press it, pull it out, and then we are left with an awesome looking 7.5 by 7.5 mouse pad. So there you have it, guys. This is just some of the stuff that I'm going to be offering from the official AsukaYenOSRS Etsy shop. Again, all this stuff is designed and made by me right from my own house. I got to work on setting up a PO box to get stuff shipped out. And once that is done, I can open the Etsy shop and start getting these designs that I've created out to you guys. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed the ones that I currently have here. Many more designs and many more ideas are on the way.
So that is it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hoped seeing how I make this stuff is actually pretty cool. I actually love to watch all kinds of things that I don't know how to do on YouTube, and it's just very interesting to me to watch other people do things that they're good at. So you see the shirt right here that I made. Awesome shirt. I love it. I'm glad I had this idea. It's really kind of funny. Even my wife laughed at it. She was like, "Oh, that's funny. I don't know what it means." But here we are. So again, guys, if you have suggestions for something that I should add to the shop, let me know in the comments below. If I do pick one of your ideas for it, remember 50% discount. I will reach out to you and I will get in touch with you somehow so you can get 50% off any item that you might think of that I can add to the shop. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciate the views. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn the bell icon on so when the shop goes live, I will be adding stuff to the community page, letting you know what's coming out or any upcoming runs of stuff. Like the video, thumbs up, comment, all that good stuff. Thank you guys again. I will see you on the next one. Take it easy.